the entire boardroom went silent. The CEO, cold, confident, untouchable, stood frozen at the glass door, her heels forgotten, her breath shallow. She wasn't looking at the executives. She wasn't even looking at me. She was staring at my 5-year-old daughter. Clinging to her leg. Calling her mommy. Why? The CEO finally asked, her voice barely steady. Does your daughter call me mommy? Every eye in the room snapped toward me. I swallowed hard. Because this wasn't supposed to happen. I was just a single dad, quiet, dependable, invisible, working late again because daycare fees don't care about exhaustion. My daughter, Lily, had been coloring in the lobby while I prepared reports for the woman everyone feared. Elena Cross, the most powerful CEO in the city. Or so I thought. Lily looked up at her with innocent certainty. Because you tuck me in, she said. And you sing the sleepy song. Elena's face drained of color. That's impossible, she whispered. I stood up slowly, my hands shaking. Lily, I said gently, sweetheart, remember what I told you? She nodded. You said mommy went away for a long time. Elena took a step back as if struck. I've never met your daughter before today, she said sharply, but her eyes betrayed her, wet, confused, breaking. My voice came out lower than I expected. Then how does she know the scar on your wrist? The one shaped like a moon. Elena instinctively grabbed her wrist. The room felt like it was closing in. Lily smiled softly. You got that when you saved me from the broken glass, she said. You cried, but you told me not to be scared. Elena's knees buckled. I caught her before she fell. And that's when she finally looked at me, not as an employee, not as a stranger, but as a man holding a truth she had buried for years. Say it, she whispered, gripping my sleeve. Please, tell me why. I took a deep breath. Because this answer was going to shatter her world. You don't remember me, I said quietly. And I prayed every day that you never would. Elena stared at Lily, then back at me, her voice trembling. I don't forget children. I don't forget faces. You forgot me, I replied. 10 years ago, before the skyscrapers, before the power, before the armor. Elena Cross was just Elena. A volunteer at a children's shelter after a warehouse fire. The same fire that took my wife. The same fire that left my newborn daughter with smoke-damaged lungs and no mother to hold her. You stayed, I continued. When everyone else left. You sang to Lily when the machines scared her. You held her when I broke down in hospital hallways. Elena's tears finally fell. I had a choice, I said. You were offered a job overseas. A future. Or us. Her hands covered her mouth. I told you to go, I said. I told you Lily would forget. I was wrong. Lily reached up and wiped Elena's cheek. Mommy always comes back, she said simply. The strongest woman in the city collapsed to her knees. I didn't abandon you, Elena sobbed. I was afraid I'd ruin her life. You saved it, I said. More times than you know. The boardroom doors quietly closed behind us. Power. Titles. Money, none of it mattered anymore. Elena hugged Lily like she was holding her own heartbeat. Then she looked at me, eyes full of regret and hope. Is it too late? She asked. I didn't answer. Because some questions aren't meant to be rushed. And some families find each other twice. The city didn't sleep that night. Neither did Elena. She sat alone in her penthouse, still wearing the same suit, Lily's tiny hair tie wrapped around her wrist like a lifeline. The boardroom applause, the market numbers, the emails flooding her phone, none of it mattered. For the first time in her life, the most powerful woman in the city was afraid. Afraid to hope. Meanwhile, in my small apartment across town, Lily refused to sleep without asking the same question over and over. "Daddy," she whispered, "is Mommy coming home now?" I stared at the ceiling, memories crashing into me like waves. I had spent years teaching myself not to want more, because wanting had once cost me everything. "I don't know, sweetheart," I said honestly. "But whatever happens, I'm right here." The next morning, my phone buzzed. "Elena Cross wants to see you. Privately." When I arrived, she wasn't the CEO everyone feared. She was barefoot. Pale. Human. "I built empires because I didn't trust love," she said quietly. "Tell me the truth, did I hurt you by leaving?" I thought of the nights Lily cried for a voice she barely remembered. I thought of the years I pretended not to miss her. "Yes," I said. "But I survived." She nodded, tears slipping down her cheeks. "Then let me earn the right to be here now. Not as a CEO. Not even as her mother." She looked up at me. "As someone who stays." And for the first time, I didn't say no. The headline broke the internet. "Billionaire CEO steps down temporarily, sources say it's for a child." The board panicked. The media speculated. Old enemies circled like vultures. "You're risking everything," her advisor warned. "Your image. Your authority." Elena's response was calm. "I've ruled companies. I want to raise a child." She showed up at Lily's school the next day, nervous, overdressed, holding a lunchbox she didn't know how to open. Other parents whispered. Lily ran straight into her arms. "Mommy came," she announced proudly. And just like that, Elena learned what no boardroom could teach her. How to braid hair badly, how to sit on the floor, how to lose sleep and still smile. But the past wasn't done with us. A lawsuit surfaced. A rival executive claimed Elena's emotional instability made her unfit to lead, and worse, unfit to parent. They threatened to take Lily away. That night, Elena stood shaking in our living room. "Maybe I ruined things," she whispered. "Maybe Lily would be safer without me." I took her hands. "Running is what broke us the first time. We don't do that again." For the first time, Elena didn't stand alone in a storm. We stood together. The courtroom was silent. The judge looked down at Elena. "Why should this child be allowed to call you Mommy?" Every camera leaned in. Elena glanced at Lily, small, brave, holding my finger. Then she spoke. "Because 10 years ago, I held her when she couldn't breathe. Because I left to survive, but I came back to love. Because being a mother isn't about perfection." She paused, voice steady. "It's about staying." The judge nodded slowly. Case dismissed. Outside, reporters shouted questions. Elena ignored them all. She knelt in front of Lily. "I can't promise I'll never mess up," she said softly. "But I promise I'll never disappear again." Lily wrapped her arms around her neck. "That's okay," she said. "Mommy always comes back." Months later, Elena returned to the company, not as a tyrant, but as a leader who understood what mattered. And me? I finally stopped being afraid of happiness. Some families are born. Some are broken. And some are found again. When love refuses to forget, life slowly found a rhythm we never planned. Mornings became messy, Elena burning toast, Lily correcting her, me laughing from the doorway like a man watching a miracle unfold. The city still watched Elena Cross, but now they also saw her kneel to tie shoelaces, rush out of meetings for school plays, and read bedtime stories with the same intensity she once reserved for boardrooms. But Lily was changing. One evening, after Elena had fallen asleep on the couch, exhausted, Lily climbed into my lap. "Daddy," she asked softly, "what if Mommy gets scared again?" The question pierced me. I brushed her hair back. Why do you ask that? Because sometimes she looks at me like she's afraid I'll disappear. The next day, Lily did something none of us expected. During a company charity event, with cameras flashing and investors watching, Lily walked up to the stage while Elena was speaking. "Mommy," she said loudly, "you don't have to be scared anymore." The room froze. Elena's voice cracked. "Why not, sweetheart?" "Because I'm not little now," Lily said. "And Daddy and me can hold you if you fall." Silence. Then tears. Not just Elena's. That clip went viral, not because of power or money, but because the world saw something rare. A child giving permission to be loved. That night, Elena hugged Lily longer than ever before.